It's happened to all of us. We've all done it. If you've knit in the round, cast your stitches on, you knit your first row, and you get this. It's called a twisted join. It is so frustrating. For about 20 years, I thought the only way to fix a twisted join was to take all those stitches off and recast them on. And guess what? If you're doing a garment from the bottom up and you've got 200 or more stitches, that's a really horrible thing to think about. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I prevent or try to prevent from twisting my join, and how do you fix a twisted join if you catch it after your first and even your second round. My name's Amanda, I'm an average knitter, and today I'm going to show you one of my favorite tips and tricks to prevent and fix a twisted join. If you're enjoying my tutorials, please think about subscribing and liking this video, subscribing to my channel and liking this video, I should say. And I am going to be putting together a playlist of my tips and tricks if you find them helpful, so you can check those out and help you improve your knitting. So here I have my cable needle with my stitches cast on, and I want to join in the round. How do I prevent that twist? I like to use a little phrase that says, check twice, join once. So what I do is I find my cast on edge, which are these little V's right here, and I like to make sure that my cast on edge is along the outside. Here's a little twist here, along the outside of the circle. You can see how I'm just moving them, moving them, moving them. Okay. Here there's no twist. You can also put the cast on edge along the inside. I don't do that because there's so much bulk with the cast on edge. I find that I end up getting a twist because there's too much bulk on the inside. I like the bulk on the outside because it's a little bit more forgiving along the outside. So now we don't have a twist. You're going to carefully pick it up and start your knitting. The other thing is, be sure that you pick up your working yarn and not your tail. It's very frustrating to get to the end of your tail and discover that you've been knitting with it. So here I've got a join with no twist. Now we get to the good part. I'm going to show you how you can fix that twisted join without frogging your cast on stitches. So I checked this work. So after I knit my first round, I like to check my work again to be sure there's not a twist, especially if you have 100+ stitches on here. The more rows that you knit, more likely you're going to have to frog your project and cast all of those stitches on again. So let's take a look at the round here. Here I can see, here's my cast on edge. I've got my first row, cast on edge. Oh, I have a twist right here. So how you're going to fix that, I'm going to take a hold of my working yarn here. So here's my twist. You're simply going to take the tip of your left needle, and and here's where the stitches, the round is joined. You're going to dip it down and under, and that untwists your round. So here's my cast on edge, no twist, no twist, no twist, no twist, no twist. What that will do is it puts a little twist on your yarn in between your needles, but that's not going to really affect your project. Now you have checked that you're still untwisted, and you can just carry on with your row. So you're in luck. This still works on round 3 as you're getting ready to do round 3 if you discover you have a twist, but it gives you a little bit of a different situation than if you catch it after your first row. So let's look for our twist. Here's my cast on edge, cast on edge. It dips under and then comes back around here. So I do have one twist. So the same thing applies. You're going to pick up your work. You're going to take the tip of your left needle and you're going to dip it down and under, and you can see that untwisted us. The predicament that you'll have now is you don't have just one twisted strand of yarn, but you actually have a twist in your fabric here. I don't necessarily mind that. Let me see if I can knit a few stitches to show you. It's a little hard looking through a camera doing this. To show you how that puts a little twist in your fabric. Puts a little twist in your fabric here. That may or may not bother you. You've also got your tail here. You can, join this gap, but you can see there is a twist in the fabric. So you can see that it would be difficult if you had more than one. But it just depends on if this is going to bother you or not. And if you've cast on 200 stitches, do you want to take it all apart and start over again? So there you have it. That is how you can fix a twisted join without frogging if you catch it on your first or second row. And I hope this tip is helpful for you. Go ahead and look for my playlist where I show other tips and tricks.